Hi, boys and girls. So today we're going to start our next piece of creative writing. Since we are in the genre of fantasy in the fourth quarter, fantasy really lends itself to a lot of really fun creative writing pieces. So today we're going to start our brainstorm on fairy tale. Yesterday you all read a fantasy on IXL. Today you're reading a fantasy in your anthology book, and you also did a little story elements IXL yesterday, just to kind of remind you again what the setting and the main character and problem and solution, things like that are. So for today, what I want you to focus on today is, again, being the creator, not editing anything. This is just a brainstorm, as it says, brainstorm. And so sometimes it's best if you even just draw what you think your main character is going to look like. So today is going to be all about you deciding who your main character is going to be, who he or she is. Now, keep in mind some things about fairy tales, some things that we know about fairy tales. So one of the things that we know about fairy tales is they usually always, of course, begin with once upon a time. And they are usually set somewhere, normally in like medieval times or older times, and they normally have a prince and a princess. They normally have a king and a queen. So keep that in mind when you are creating your brainstorm, that you want it to be people that lived long ago, probably a prince, princess, queen, king, and often they live in a castle and some sort of medieval setting. Oops, I just wrote medieval wrong. It doesn't necessarily need to be medieval, so I'm just going to put long ago setting. So today, keeping those things upon a time, keeping those things in your mind, once upon a time, prince, princess, queen, king, castle, long ago setting. You want to make sure that you tell me, describing who your main character is. You can draw a little sketch of the person if you want to. Often that helps to kind of jog your memory or kind of create a vision of someone. You also want to today decide what the setting is going to be. Where is your story taking place? So is it going to be a mountainside village? Is it going to be a lakeside village? Is it going to be in a castle? You need to think about what the setting of your story is going to be, and you need to describe it. So remember, when you're describing things is when you're using your wow words, because you're helping to paint an image in your reader's mind of what the character looked like and what the setting looks like. And then also today, your main character in all fairy tales, they always have a problem. Remember in Princess and the Pizza, the problem was that she wanted to get back to princessing, and her father had given up being a king to be a woodworker, and they were not making a lot of money, and she really missed her royal wave and people paying attention to her, and she really thought that she wanted to get back to princessing. So that was her problem. They were very poor, and she was no longer a princess and wanted to be one again. So your main character needs to have a problem. You don't have to decide on what the solution is to that problem yet, but you need to be at least deciding today what that problem is going to be. So let's just kind of recap again. Today is just all about a brainstorm. Coming up with a name of your main character, who he or she is, describing what they look like physically, how old they are, where they live, because that's going to be your setting, where the story is taking place. And again, that should be described very vividly. And then the problem, what is it that the main character has to overcome? This would all be part of your first paragraph, but today I just want you to kind of just be jotting down ideas. We're not starting to put anything together as of yet. We're just going to start jotting down these ideas, and then tomorrow we will actually begin writing that first paragraph where we lay out the main character, the setting, and the problem. Once again, you don't need to have the solution yet. We will get to the solution as the story starts to unfold. So just kind of take a few minutes, think about a possible problem that your main character could have, And again, call upon all of the fairy tales that you have read in your life. Think about all of them: Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, The Princess and the Pea. You can even think about more modern ones like The Beauty and the Beast, or some people even think of Mulan when they think of a fairy tale. So be creative, think of fairy tales that you know of, and think of the problems that they could possibly have had when you're trying to decide on your problem. So that's all you need to do for today, is just make the decisions on these things. Keep it with you because we're going to add to it tomorrow. All right? Miss you guys. Bye.